Hello everyone and welcome back to Farm Center 22. We're back here at No Man's Land with Grober Games. So last month we spent most of our month getting the barn clean out of the solid manure, and we ended up getting some plowing done. We also invested into a new plow too. So we did quite a few investments as well. We got trying to remember what else we got. We also got our milk sold last month. And we also bought a new milk tanker for the semi. So we're able to start trucking milk with our semi now, speaking of which. We're going to start with that this morning. So today we're finally can start on our corn harvest here. So I'm going to get this. Oh shoot, I kind of have that chisel plow in the way right now, but that's fine. We'll make this work. But we're going to get the gleaner out today. We're going to start getting to work on getting all the corn harvested because we have a massive amount of corn. And I think we're going to try to do something a little differently this year. So normally I've been using the white on the slurry tanker. But when we get to that point, I think we're going to hook the Kubota up to it and see if it can handle it, just because with the new ripper we bought, Kubota can't really get up to speed with it like we want. So we're going to put the white on that and see if the white can do a little bit of a better job. And my hope is with the Kubota on the oops, that's this back up here. We're going to start over here with this field this morning, and then we'll work our way back towards the farm. But my hope is that with the Kubota on the slurry tanker, that we would be able to take advantage of the GPS system and be able to more accurately apply our slurry than we normally would be able to. So got that off there. But I also have another thing we're going to be working on today is that we also need to get our hay cut for one last time this season. So we're going to be doing more silage as well. So I think after I get the combine going and all the headlands done, we're going to be out here mowing all this grass for one last time. And I'm planning to come out here and I think we're going to get rid of the hay ground because we don't really need hay ground anymore, to be honest with you. Like, we got a bunch of hay, and I'm kind of hoping that over this winter that we'll make enough money to get the planter we want, and that we'll have enough to where I can finally spend some time getting that BGA all set up. There we go. Okay. Last year I kind of screwed this up a little bit, making too much of a wide turn and kind of kept on hitting that rock and everything. So we're just gonna park this out here because we'll need this next month. I think it should be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine right there. But right now my goal is we're just gonna haul all the corn straight to the bin, and I figure later on we can transfer some corn into the silo for the TMR and mixed ration. Speaking of which, I haven't checked this morning to see how all the cattle were doing on feed. I think they're fine yet. Yeah, we really need to get that slurry tanker hooked up, it looks like. At least take one load out of there. I wonder... I think it'll be next month before we officially get everything done. And it looks like our cows had finally had their calves, and it looks like they're starting to depreciate in value now. So we got to get rid of those today as well, so that'll be on the agenda. And I think when we get a little bit closer to them calving, I think we're going to start selling off one trailer load at a time to start cycling some of these older cattle out. I mean, they're 41 months. They're kind of getting to the point where we should start calling certain parts of the herd. So, and it looks like they could use a little feed actually. We actually got quite a bit we need to get done today already, and we haven't hardly even started. So this might be a two-month episode, which would be kind of surprise me. But we do have a lot more corn than we do have to harvest this year compared to all the other years now. Even with the bigger combine, it's going to take us a little bit of time, but we'll get it done. But I think I'm trying to think. I'm wondering if I was gonna say, trying to figure out if after we get this first field done, if I want to hire someone to start ripping right away, because I'm gonna have to start mowing, and then I'm gonna have to start raking right away as well, so we can get that stuff all set up and ready to go. And I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna handle this. We might have to go drive the Oliver all the way over here, to be honest with you, because we kind of need one more tractor to run the blower for us when you think about it. How do we want to handle this now? I'm trying to think if we want to worry about getting grass out, getting that grass field mowed and done this month, so that way we can start applying slurry to the field, because I think we're just going to inject the slurry into the ground there, just so we can get rid of some of that manure. I was originally planning to finish hauling all the solid manure on it, but I think we might just save that for this cornfield over here, just because it'll be a little bit closer to the barn and we wouldn't have to haul as far, so to speak. But I don't know for sure yet. We're honestly kind of in a tricky situation right now. I didn't really think this far ahead, and that's gonna kind of I'm trying to figure out. Not really stress me out, but make me a little anxious on figuring out how we want to set ourselves up for next season, because if I get rid of that hay field, we won't be making as much Well, that's the other thing. Do I really want to get rid of that hay field? Part of me says we should just get rid of it, because I think we've got more than enough power generated for the farm now that we don't really need it per se. And granted, we still got those two little grassland areas that we could always snag some hay from if we need to around the pasture, which wouldn't be the end of the world type thing, just because I know we're sitting on close to like 400 liters of hay, and if we do our silage right, because we're still fermenting we're still working on from our first crop, fermenting it in the silo over at the BGA, that we could just hang on to a bunch of it, and I think we would be fine for most of next season, with even if we would say not purchase another piece of ground to start harvesting grass silage off of before we start tillage. So I think we're gonna stick with tilling that hay ground up and injecting our liquid manure and slurry in there, so that way we have a place to go with it, because I think we might turn that hay ground into sorghum next year as well. But yeah, maybe I can't make up my mind. Maybe I think we'll just leave this whole side of the farm in sorghum, because next year we'll have though, so the two fields will just flip-flop in the section 27. The big field is beans this year, so that would be corn, and the corn and 25, and the middle field there would be beans next year, while the furthest north field would be actually corn. So actually, I think we might just plant corn into that grass field there, just because, well, then we wouldn't really have much left for beans next year. This is a kind of a tricky situation we're in. I'm gonna have to think on this for a bit. But we'll jump in the time lapse here. I'll kind of consolidate my thoughts here and figure out the best way, because we got a lot of manure to get rid of now, and we don't have enough ground to get rid of it on, so to speak. And like I said, I would like to avoid having to put it all in the BGA, but I might not get my way in this situation. So we'll jump into the time lapse here finally, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, everyone, this is where we're going to start wrapping up today's episode. I kind of noticed that frames are dropping a little as we get closer to farm. I shouldn't have... Just have a little too much stuff, I guess, out over here right now. But we have a pretty busy October ahead of us right now. And I'm planning to do this whole field myself for harvesting. Just because I haven't really had time to really run this combine too much myself. And I'd like the chance to be able to run it myself and seeing how everything's doing. Especially on this new field here. So far, it hasn't been too bad. It doesn't look like it is going to be like the best yielding field out of the farm, so to speak. But it's definitely not the worst when you look at it in the long run. But I think right now when we come back, we'll come back to where we're at here, combining this field, and I think we're going to finish it out. And then we're going to have to get our butt in gear and get the 40-20 moved over to the BGA with the blower. So that way we can start... Oh, that way we can start chopping. And hopefully, my goal is right now, ultimately, is to get all that grass chopped and thrown into the silo at the BGA before the month is over. And the one thing I am really happy with is this grain trailer. Just being able to have one full, like, granted, we haven't gotten a full grain trailer from every field we've gone to, but it's just been nice to be able to get it all on one load, so to speak, and move on to the next field. I think this will be the first field that we'll actually have to make 2 trips with this grain trailer, but I still love it either way. But either way, this is where we're going to wrap up today's episode. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe so you can stay up to date to the latest series. Above all else, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And most of all, thanks for watching.